really quickly want to talk about the Bible because the Bible is the key book for Christians. And I'd like to discuss, we'll call this Reading the Manual. Now, I'm a woman and I've had many chuckling conversations with other women because it seems to be some sort of characteristic in a man that if they get a gadget, they see it as a challenge to figure out how to get that gadget up and running. And nowadays gadgets are getting more and more complicated, but they have to figure out how to get this gadget going, and they will pore over it and they'll try this and that. And actually what makes us women laugh is that as they read the manual, they quickly work out how to set it up, and it's all there in black and white, but they're not reading it. So for Christians, reading the manual is really important. Now, it's kind of quite a well-known image now, isn't it? If you're looking at a science fiction film, or people are working for treasure, that they come across an ancient tome which has many of the secrets of the universe, and it's a very sacred book. And for Christians, that ancient tome is the Bible. And many of the secrets of the universe of God's love are contained in that word. And as you get better at understanding the biblical language, you get better at, if you like, diving for the wonderful treasures that are in it. And I absolutely love reading the Bible. But it's a bit overwhelming when you first start, and I strongly suggest you don't start. Some people start at Genesis and then they get kind of stumble in the middle of things like Chronicles, but this is just name after name after name. Best place to start is maybe John's Gospel, maybe a book like Ephesians, maybe the Psalms, which are poems of life by people who knew God. Start in a really simple place. But reading the manual is a really helpful way of getting to know the God of love. The other really important way is to hang out with his family. And that's what church is. Now, going into church doesn't make you a Christian any more than going into a garage makes you a car. However, church is a building where people can get together and learn about God without getting wet. The real church is not a building, it's a family. And I go to a church and it's my family of God. And God is always wanting that family to be a family that we really want to hang out in, and that they're there for each other. And when it goes well, a church family is a wonderful thing to be in. It's as good as being in a nuclear family where you've got really lovely parents and your children are happy, and God always intended the family of God to be like that. But like all families do have their ups and downs, and some of us have been in churches where there's definitely been a down period, but that isn't how families should be. If you are part of a family and you have a bit of a hard time, it would be silly to say, well, if that's families, I'm never going to go near a family again. We might stalk off and do that if things are a bit bad for a minute, but basically, if the family unit goes well, it is a wondrous thing. And we all gather together in family units. I mean, that is changing in many different ways in our society, but still it's the nucleus of people who love each other and then bring children into that loving relationship. And that is family, and church is family. And the best way to make the family of church go well is to go join a church and be a good family member in that church. And it's very easy for us to retreat if we see a church not working terribly well and disappear. But actually the best way to change a church is to be someone in that church who's really modelling love well. And that's, again, what it's all about. It's a place where we love and are loved. So these are two key things for a Christian: to read the manual, and the manual just opens up more and more this realm in which we live, and the God who loves us, and to help other people, and in the family of God, as we go and are supported and loved, and we do that to each other, it's well accepted by psychologists that a loving relationship, a loving unit, a loving family is the best place for a human to grow into their potential. And that is true in the Christian family. If you're in a family and there's love and support flowing in that church family, it is the best place to grow and become the best that you can be. So I would encourage you. And you kind of know if a church is operating properly. When we came to where we live, we thought we were going to try all churches, but we got to our church, and we were so lovingly welcomed and received that we felt at home, and we've been at that church ever since. And you kind of know when you come into a church. And we connected, and we still connect. And so go to a church where people acknowledge you, where people are interested in you, where you feel loved and accepted and welcomed, because that usually means, if there is love, it means that the God of love is dwelling in the midst of that church family. So these things are important, and also that church family will be on the journey that you may just have started, and they will have been on that journey longer than you are. And there's something really wonderful about somebody who's been on a journey can say, oh yeah, be careful, there's a bit of a pitfall there, and oh, just go there because that was really, really lovely. And so people that come back and tell you the hazards and the joys of what lies ahead are really, really helpful people to have around. So again, that's another thing you learn from your church family who've been on this journey with God. They can help you avoid the pitfalls and show you where all the best treasures lie. So they're really good people to have around. So get yourself a Bible and begin to read the manual and find yourself a family. And some of us, and I've worked with many of these people, we don't have a very good start in life. We don't necessarily feel that we were loved or wanted. We've known a lot of rejection and abandonment. And if you go to a church family that is really operating well, much healing can happen in that environment. That's what I do. I'm a counsellor, but I work a lot, not exclusive, but a lot within the Christian church, and much healing and freedom can happen in that environment. So come and join us. We're part of a family. There'll be a family of God round the corner from where you are. If you are interacting with these videos and you're wanting God to help you, and they're really beginning to speak to you, then come and join us. Find God's people and become part of that family. Bye-bye.